Sir, you can't come in.
But I live here.
Well, we're waiting on a warrant to search your home.
Usually, until the cops have a warrant to search your home, they can't go inside. But if they're waiting on one and think you'll destroy evidence, they can legally post up and block you from entering. Remain calm, don't interfere. Tell the cops you will cooperate and that you're calling your lawyer.
If you get pulled over and the cop says,
license and registration,
legally you have to give it over.
But if Mike tries to say,
what's your name and badge number, officer?
Legally, I don't have to do jack.
Some police departments make officers verbally identify themselves, but it's not required by law. Some states have laws that make them display it, but they don't have to say it.
Some people think that is unfair and that police conduct should be more transparent.
There! You're talking to the wrong guy! Get out the car!
I'm writing you a ticket for a broken taillight. But my taillight's not broken. Now it is. Police misconduct can take many forms, but when an officer's actions are illegal or inappropriate, follow these steps. 1. Prioritize your safety. Don't argue with the officer or try to escalate the situation. You're allowed to film the interaction, but don't fight on site. Wait for the court date. 2. File a report. Remember, officers can still face criminal charges like anyone else. 3. Talk to a lawyer. You might be able to get compensation in a civil suit. This is what to say when the cops say,
"You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law."
Step 1, repeat after me. I invoke the 5th, and I want to talk to a lawyer. And step 2, don't say another word after that. If you do, you waive your right, and it may be used against you in court. The 5th allows you to never admit to anything, so use it. This is the question you guys ask me the most. What's the 5th, and why do I keep telling you to invoke it? It's the 5th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. To put it simply, it means legally you never have to tell on yourself. Your words can be used against you in court, so invoke the 5th to stay silent with the cops instead. And you do have to invoke it to use it, so to stay protected, say something along the lines of, I invoke the 5th. Then, stop talking until you speak with a lawyer. Especially if you're innocent. Don't let the cops and courts use your words to pin you for a crime you didn't commit. It happens more than you think. Keep asking legal questions in the comments. Never drink cop water. It's how they get your DNA. Let's say they want your DNA but don't have a warrant. Hey, I got you a drink. They're not being nice. They just hope you drink it so they can get your DNA off the can afterwards.
So what are you in for?
I posted cringe.
Hey, don't admit to anything. She's an informant.
Huh?
Sorry.
You see this in TV all the time. What are you in here for? But if it happens in real life, be skeptical. Cops hide informants to gather evidence on you in the places you least expect. They can be anywhere near you while you're in custody. So if you get busted and anyone asks about your case, say you won't talk without your lawyer.
Turn to your right.
Why do cops take mugshots? Cops take mugshots to keep a record of suspects, but they use it for other things too. Mugshots can show how a suspect looked when arrested, and this may help with the case, or may contradict what the police officer said.
Yeah, the perp caused a 3-car pileup. Every car was totaled.
Really? There's not a scratch on.
I had to arrest someone.
They can also be used for...
Is this the man who stole your donuts?
Yeah, that's him. Were you able to get them back?
Oh, no. Sorry, man.
You can't do this in public.
Are we in trouble?
Well, no matter where you live, they'll find a way to say it's a misdemeanor if it's truly in public. Like when there's a good chance people will see you. But don't be naive. Take it off the streets and into the sheets. This is what to say when the cops say, will you come down to the station for a quick interview?
Yeah, I guess.
That ain't it, Chief. If they're asking, not telling, then repeat after me. I invoke the 5th right now, but I may speak with you later. Sure, they may only think you're a witness, but they may also think that you're a suspect. It's always best to let your lawyer find out what they want so you don't say something that may end up in court.
Well, a lawyer, that makes you look guilty, right?
My client doesn't have to answer that, and having me here does not make him look guilty. Criminal cases are based on evidence, and my presence is not evidence. I'm simply protecting him from being taken advantage of.
Damn, this guy's good.
So am I free to go?
Yeah, you're free to go. But one of these days, law by Mike, I'm gonna catch you slipping.
Sometimes my biggest legal tip won't work. You've all heard me say invoke the fifth to remain silent, but here's 2 times you may not be able to invoke the fifth.
What's your name?
In some states, if a cop suspects you of a crime, you have to identify yourself. My name is Mike.
License and registration.
And if a cop asks me this when I'm pulled over for a valid reason, I have to hand them over. But after that, I don't have to answer anything else.